It's prime time. It's prime time. Talk TV. Talk TV. We're letting you know.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's your man Prime Time, and you already know you're on Prime Time Talk TV. And yeah, I'm back at you with another good video, and you already know the routine. Once you enter my house, wipe your feet off, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and smash the bell icon so you can be notified the next time I drop these next latest and greatest videos like these.
For Prime Time.
To this day.
Oh man, let's go ahead and jump on into this video, shall we? How about it seems like Errol the Truth Spence has more than he can handle, I believe, at one time. You know, I'm talking about somebody that went from having one mandatory to two mandatories to three mandatories. Wow, almost unheard of, because these three mandatories that Errol the Truth Spence, man, wow, it's a tall order for any boxer. You hear me? Any boxer. But if you want my honest opinion, I do truly believe that Errol Spence has the power, the mindset, and the skill to actually beat all three of these fighters, depending upon his mindset going into each one of these fights. Now, first of all, you know, the first one that put in the bid was Imantas Stanionis. Now, this young kid, I'm telling you, is a beast. For real. Not to be taken lightly at all. I think he, 14-0 with 9 KOs, something like that. Look, Stanionis, man, I watched some of his fights. I watched his highlights. This guy puts in punches and bunches, and boy, does he do it beautifully. I'm for real. You talking about, he reminded me a lot of Errol Spence. For real. Working the body, working the hooks. He throw combos like no other. Honestly, he throw combos almost more than Errol Spence. I mean, crazy. But, you know, a lot of it, you know, you got to weigh in to the factor is the level of competition, because level of competition will allow you to put on a beautiful, masterful show. But at the same time, showing that, you know, when you get against an elite fighter for the first time, it might be to your disadvantage. So it's yet to be determined if Stanionis can really put this output and the rate of him throwing his punches against the elite. You know, I would love to see a tournament, honestly, before they all get to Errol Spence. But you know how the business of boxing goes, we can probably highly doubt that. And as we know, Errol Spence, he don't take no tune-up fights, because if you look at Errol's record, it basically shows you he's second to Sean Porter when it comes to choosing hard fights, elite fighters, and not just a tune-up fight. So look, Stanionis, I'm telling you, he already invoked his challenge for the WBA belt. And hey, I tell you what, I would love to see the fight, honestly. For real. You know, out of the welterweight division and all the, compared to the other divisions, the welterweight has honestly the most elite fighters, if you can look at it. I mean, stacked division. So, you know, moving right along, next we have Jerron Boots Ennis. Yeah. His pops and trainer and coach, Wba Ennis, he put in the petition to challenge Errol the Truth Spence for his IBF title. Because, you know, hey, Errol got 3 belts, y'all. And he has 3 mandatories for the belts that he has. And Jerron Boots Ennis, oh my God, a super elite specimen. Don't get it twisted. Stanionis is an elite specimen as well, but Jerron Boots Ennis, dual fighter, switch hitter, just like Terrence Bud Crawford. So you're talking about seeing Errol Spence fight Terrence Bud Crawford 2.0, if you ask me. You know, that would determine a whole lot. If we were to get this fight next, the IBF championship fight next, then that right there would show the world this is how Earl would have handled Bud Crawford. And if he handles Jerron Boots Ennis easily, you know what that'll do for Terrence Bud Crawford's stock. It'll raise it up because everybody is then going to definitely want to see how it would have been. Now, if Jerron Boots Ennis goes in and beats Errol Spence, that would shake up the world. That would end the undisputed reign that Errol Spence was trying to go after. And matter of fact, if Stanionis beats Errol the True Spence for his WBA title, same thing. He loses that chance at being undisputed. He'll have to keep fighting until he get that belt back. And by that time, who knows? You know, would we even want to see that Terrence Bud Crawford fight? Would we get that Terrence Bud Crawford fight? You know, I truly am optimistic, so I believe we will. I believe it will happen. I believe it'll happen probably end of 2023 or beginning of 2024. You know, the way things are going. Because, you know, either these sanctioning bodies are going to allow Errol Spence a pass and say, hey, we're going to wait for the Terrence Crawford fight. We don't want to taint that fight. We don't want to get this guy injured or whatever the case may be. And, you know, so that could be an issue. But the way it sounds, it's highly unlikely. It looks like these sanctioning bodies, since the fight with Terrence Crawford fell through, which, you know, Steven Espinoza came out and said that, you know, PBC and Showtime all were blindsided by Terrence Crawford's decision. They still say that, you know, maybe optimistically it still can happen. It's still a big fight. You know, I think, honestly, I just feel like business says that this fight has to brew a little bit more so that they can make the money they want to make off of it. But moving right along to the last and third person to basically invoke his petition to fight Errol the True Spence, and guess who it is? Your boy, none other, the one and only. No, hold on. Let me do this right. Because this person right here has a little weight to his name. You know what I mean? Experience, former champion. So I got to introduce him right. Just hold on one second. Introducing to the millions and millions around the world, I bring to you none other than one-time Thurman. How y'all like that? You know, I could have been a ring announcer, you know what I'm saying? Honestly, you know, but, you know, people hate on me, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get that call one day. Watch now. But moving right along, yeah, your boy Keith Thurman, y'all. Somebody that Errol Spence said he would never fight. Because when Errol Spence was coming up, he, you know what I'm saying, he was creeping and getting his, I think he was 15 wins straight, something like that. And he was like, you know, he wanted to fight Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman was like, I don't know who no Errol Spence is, you know, tell him to get a belt. He ain't even on my radar. And then he went and got a belt. And then Keith Thurman still denied him. Man, you know, I'm on the bigger and better things, you know. It's lonely at the top, you know, and I got an album coming out. This was basically an interview to where he just was talking about, you know, his activeness in the ring and training from 2 months prior to the car accident to after the car accident to training for 6 months. And you see the difference by how these guys' eyes are getting injured, how he's putting destructive shots to guys' bodies and stuff like that. So it really shows a difference in his mindset of who he is as a boxer by him now training as hard as he has been training. And honestly, if you think about it, from the beginning of Errol Spence's career, pretty much, he's been this young boogeyman that really don't nobody want to see. Kind of like Devin Haney and kind of like Shakur Stevenson. It's kind of like these guys in the division like Deontay Wilder that people really don't want to choose all that much because they know that they have that lethal equalizer with them, and Tank Davis as well. It's not a lot of fighters that really truly call him out. Nothing but fighters like Devin Haney that's real boxers, and Ryan Garcia that has the confidence and the height and reach advantage that he feels that he can take a Tank Davis. But, moving right along back to the topic at hand is that Errol Spence has a rough and rugged road ahead of him. Now, can he travel that road and make it to his destination of undisputed? Yes, he can. He can make that journey. He can walk that walk, because when he talk the talk, he leave cats outlining chalk in that ring, for real. So, if you notice, honestly, I gotta say, I understand Terrence Crawford choosing the money over this fight. He feels as though this is a legacy fight. He should get legacy money. He feels as though, hey, if you're going to pay me pennies on a dollar, I might well go over here and give David Avedian a holler. So, miss me with all that down talking and yada, yada, yada. I don't blame Errol Spence. I don't blame Terrence Crawford. I blame the promoters for having enough money to put in the other fights and other fighters, but not having enough money to put into this legacy generational fight. They saying that this fight ain't worth this, that, and the third. Well, when was the last time y'all seen fans and people around the world this upset about another boxer's decision on his life and how much money he choose to make on his fights? Well, Mayweather versus Pacquiao. That was the last mega fight that we had like this, that we were waiting for as fans and we couldn't get. A lot of people want to blame Mayweather, but, honestly, Mayweather invoked the Olympic style drug testing, and Pacquiao said he was afraid of needles. That was the reason for the fight being delayed like it was. So it wasn't about money at that time. It was about drug testing, because Mayweather said he, suspected Pacquiao of using, PEDs and yada, yada, yada at this time. So, they were throwing some big slander at this time. And that's why Mayweather is one of the truly most hated boxers in the world that's this successful, is because he runs his mouth too much. The general census of boxing, they love it when a fighter just fights and shuts his mouth, period. And really any sport, they don't like black people to talk. They don't want to hear y'all mouth, or our mouth, for that matter. But reason why I say that is it's just a hard road for boxers, and I understand Terrence Crawford's decision in going after the bag instead of being had and end up mad. And it was saying a lot of things came out about distrust, because the way he was done by Bob Arum, he wanted to see the numbers, and he wanted to see physical proof of what these people were telling him, because he's just been told so much. And when he never saw the numbers, then when he actually got other information, they was like, oh, the money ain't here for that. So he just wanted to go into this fight being reassured that he was not being bamboozled, and they wouldn't do that. They couldn't do that. So he went and grabbed a bag. That's what it's about. It ain't about Errol Spence. Errol Spence, he been signed his contract. He didn't even have a plan B, because this is all he focused on. And Showtime, Espinoza, them guys said that they didn't focus on nothing else. They only focused on this fight. period. They thought they were making traction with Terrence Crawford, but Terrence Crawford had a back deal. He had another deal with somebody else, and when this was taking too long, he said, hey, I want to fight at least this year so they won't be like, oh, he inactive and trying to strip my belt and these things of that nature. So that's why Terrence Crawford chose this fight. He was choosing the easy way out. He was choosing the most available, best opponent that he could get in short notice. Anybody else would have asked for a 6 to 7, 8 week camp or whatever, 14-week camp. So he didn't have time to go through all that. He said, I wanted to put on a fight December the 10th. Now, the crazy thing about it is that how many people are now putting on fights December the 10th, trying to basically, I guess, squash out Black Prime money, because you got Dana White with UFC December the 10th. Then you got Top Rank December the 10th with Teofimo Lopez and Pedraza. So, it's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. We gonna see what it's gonna be at the end of the day when we say 1, 2, 3. Because look, hey, this is real right now. Errol Spence has the hardest road, period. Either keep those belts or move up to 154. Is he gonna fight all 3 of these mandatories and keep the belt and still try and accomplish being undisputed? Because, hey, maybe if Terrence Crawford don't fight who he's supposed to fight or fight his next mandatory, then they'll strip him of his title. And if Errol Spence don't fight one of his mandatories, he gonna be stripped of one of his titles, all 3. So it is crazy. I'm gonna keep y'all up to date. Y'all stay tuned. I got more news for y'all as it comes to me. So you already know the routine. Before you leave my house, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, smash the bell icon so you can be notified the next time I drop these next latest and greatest videos here on Primetime Talk TV. And I'm on social media everywhere. Definitely go to the website primetimetalktv.com and cop you some merch. All right, y'all. Peace, love. I'm out till next time.